It's your girl, Lady Mocha. And you know I'm going to always pour you a cup of truth, and I'm going to always break you off with a slice of knowledge. Hello, good afternoon. What's good, everybody? It is your girl, your diva in knowledge, Lady Mocha, and I want to thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for stopping in to dine out with me, your girl, here at Cafe de Paris. Well, as you guys know, I've always told you that if you ever had any questions, concerns, or you want to send me some links, or you just need my personal advice about something, that you're more than welcome to reach out to me. Well, one of my subscribers reached out to me by the name of Knights of the Wind. Okay, and he actually had a question for me that he wanted me to pretty much collaborate on. So you know how I do, y'all know how I operate. I never let my subscribers down if I can, So basically, the question that he had for me was, could I do a video on the ways a man can put the woman he loves in her place when she's acting a donkey from time to time? Okay, this is the question that was asked to me. So you know how I do, honey. You know this ain't no bakery here. I'm not going to sugarcoat nothing. Okay, so just keep in mind that when you come to me, I'm going to tell you the raw truth and nothing but the truth. Okay, so big ups to Night of the Wind for even reaching out to me. I appreciate it. You reached out to me, meaning that you really value my opinion and you really trust that the advice that I'm going to give you is going to be resourceful. So I appreciate that. You could have went to anybody, but you chose to come to my channel. Now, this is another thing I'm going to discuss before I go into the elements on this. Ladies and gentlemen, if y'all want to reach out to me, y'all have a question for me, do not post it in the comment. I repeat, do not post it in the comment. Email it to me at Cafe de Paris 79. I will get to you so much faster. You won't even believe how many people have posted comments and videos I have posted years ago. And many of them think I'm just ignoring them. I just so happened caught Night of the Wind's question in the comments. But please, for future reference, if y'all can, send it to my email, because I don't want to miss your questions, okay? All right, so we're gonna move right along. Okay, so that was the question. What are the ways a man can put the woman he loves in her place when she acted like a donkey from time to time? Okie dokie. Well, I'm gonna just call you Knight, okay? All right, Mr. Knight. Basically, this is my opinion on this question. First of all, I don't like that term, putting somebody in their place. I don't care for that term. And you probably didn't mean nothing by it, but I'm gonna tell you the reason why I don't care for that term. When we talk about putting somebody in their place, basically that's already the perception of, we see that person as a child. Okay, whenever it gets to the point when a grown man or a grown woman has to say, I'm gonna put her in her place or put him in his place, that means we don't consider them as adults. We consider them as children. That's the first thing that I want us to rid that thought. Okay, what we don't want to do is put somebody in their place. No grown man should never have to put another grown woman in her place, just like a grown woman shouldn't have to put a grown man in her place. First of all, both of us are adults here, okay? And if there's a problem, if there's a solution, there's no such thing as putting somebody in their place. But there is a such thing as communicating and guiding your companion. I like those choice of words a little bit better. And I'm going to explain further to you what I mean by that, okay? There's no, as I stated, there's no such thing as putting a grown person in their place. Now you can communicate with that person and guide them on how you want to be treated. Okay, basically, let me see, because I wrote some notes. Guide them on how you want to be treated. Then it's up to that individual to respect that, and if they can't, then there's a decision that has to be made. Okay. Basically, it's an old, vague saying. All of us have heard this 1,000 times. Communication is the key. And it truly, truly is. Communication is the key. When it comes to a relationship, you have to realize both of y'all are still constantly learning each other over the years. I've been with my husband 18 years and I am still learning him. And he is still learning me. Just because somebody been with that person 18 years, 25 years, 30 years, don't believe that they have arrived. They got it all together. She knows me, I know her. No, you're going to be learning each other till the day y'all die. Okay, so keep in mind, there's no such thing as, because I hear people who say it, well, she should know how I am, or he should know how I am. No, certain things, yes, like I might like know you don't like damn olives in your salad, okay, or my husband might know, I don't like the hair color, you know, light burgundy, certain things. Of course, he's going to know my likes and dislikes and vice versa, but that's generally speaking. But again, you have to realize as years goes on, you both are growing. And as you grow, you both are constantly changing. So you're going to always need to communicate for the rest of your life as long as y'all are together. There's no such thing as she knows me by now, he knows me by now. Communication has to constantly be reinforced because life is full of changes. So you have to keep that line of communication open. That way our relationship can keep progressing instead of deteriorating. So it's imperative that you both communicate with each other. And once you have communicated your likes and dislikes and that person still cannot respect everything you have presented to them, your things that you don't like, things that you are dead set against, and they still cannot respect the code. They still cannot respect the obligations and the things that you have presented to them. Then there's going to have to be a decision that's going to have to be made, because you don't want to keep leading the horse to the water and then they're not drinking it. You don't want to keep, trying to beat something into somebody and they're not getting it. They're not registering. It's not registering. You're going to be frustrated. They're going to be miserable. Furthermore, this is another point I felt that I should also make, is that, note to men, you don't want a woman that you have to control. Now, although the idea may sound exciting at first, that you have a woman that's going to do whatever you say do, that's not going to question you, not going to gripe, not going to try to buck your authority. But the problem is, when you're with a woman that is so easy for you to control, the issue is going to be not only can you easily control her, but she can easily be controlled by anybody, because what has happened is you have trained her to not use her own mind. So when she's getting in a situation and you're not there at that present moment to control her and tell her what to do, whoever so happened is in her presence is going to be able to control her just like you have always been able to. So it's never been good anyway to get somebody that you can control, and you don't ever want to get in the habit of having to control that person, because again, if you can control that person, then that person can easily be controlled by anybody. Believe me, you're going to want a woman with her own mind, because she needs to be able to think about things even when you're not there to guide her. As I go into it, I'm going to keep breaking down the elements and the dynamics to it, so it'll make a little bit more sense, okay? The next thing is, you shouldn't have to apply aggression, but direction. Let me repeat that again. You should have to apply aggression, but direction. Let me go a little further into that. Meaning that if you have a wife, okay, I'm just using an example. You have a wife, you have a girlfriend who doesn't know how to tone it down when y'all are in the public. Okay, meaning she's very revealing with her clothes. She likes to show her cleavage. She likes to wear skirts that are so short that you can see all the cottage cheese and dimples on her thighs. And she does not know how to tone it down, meaning that y'all, when y'all go to certain places, like y'all go to meet family for dinner at a high scale restaurant, and she wants to come in there looking like this project chick, and this is something that's embarrassing to you, which it should be, and you find it distasteful, versus chewing her out, embarrassing and humiliating the hell out of her in front of your company and in front of your guests. Because also you humiliating yourself. Because for one, I think when it comes to problems, never address it in public, because people feed off of negativity. And the moment people see y'all have problems in your household, yeah, you having problems in your relationship, there's a crack in the door, you opening the door to the enemy. Okay, so you got to be very careful. Nobody should see that there's any dents or any flaws in your relationship when you're in a public place. Okay, so instead of blasting out, chewing out in public, first of all, before y'all even left the house, that should have been addressed immediately. Okay, remember back in the day, y'all, to all my black folks out there, remember how when your parents, before they would take you shopping, and y'all would pull up to Walmart or pull up to the mall or whatever, and they give you that talk, look here, when we go in the store, don't look for nothing. Don't ask for nothing. Don't ask me to buy nothing. Don't ask me to do nothing. Sit in that damn grocery cart and shut the hell up and let me get what I need to get for this house. And that's it. Remember how your parents had to give you the prep talk before y'all went into the store, so you wouldn't knock her ass and be wanting to fall out because you wouldn't buy those pack of cookies or that ice cream that you wanted. She already nipped it in the bud. So you knew the moment you got inside this restaurant or you got inside this store or whatever, you already knew she not to ask, not to whine, not to whimper, because she already told you the moment you asked for something, she was going to bust your behind. Now, I'm not saying to tell your old lady that or tell your husband that, but basically what I'm saying is you have to break down the rules before things even get that far out of hand. Okay, so again, this is just a scenario I'm doing. This would be the time to not have to use aggression, meaning that it should never have to get to the point where you have to cuss out, you got to put your hands on her to make her, you ain't got to act turn to her to make her respect you as a man. First of all, whenever it comes to the point that you have to put your hands on a woman, you've already lost all respect, because a real man shouldn't have to do that. It doesn't take all of that. When a woman knows you mean business, oh, she's going to do what the hell you need her to do without you having to act turn on her. Believe me, I've been in marriage for 18 years, and my husband has had to correct me for many years without having to put a hand on me. So it can be done. Okay. So basically, that is the time that you direct that, honey, look, you are my wife, and I value your body enough to where I want what me and you to have in the bedroom. I want it to be between me and you in the bedroom. I don't feel comfortable with you exposing all of your goodies like that. Now, as a matter of fact, you looked really sexy in them pants that you wore the other day. What happened to those dress pants I bought you? What happened to those pants that you was wearing when I picked you up from work? Those looked really sexy on you. They complimented your figure. You looked really, you know, hot, just you, it's the way you direct it, versus, man, you look like a slut, you look like a hoe, you act like a mother effing hoe every time you're around my people, you embarrassing the hell out of me, people think I'm with a hoe, they don't think I got a wife. That's not how you have to get your point across. Again, you don't have to be aggressive, just be directive, meaning that, no, how about this? What are those nice pants you wore? It's just kind of deterrent. Okay, deterrent. Deter the message versus being so aggressive, and basically being a tyrant. Because what happens is, when you become a tyrant, people cannot focus on the message, especially women, because women are already emotional creatures as it is. So the moment you're coming at a woman screaming or hollering at her versus talking to her, she's not focusing on what you're saying, because she's too busy focusing on how you're saying it. She's focusing on the fact that you're screaming and you hollering at her. She doesn't know, she's not receiving it the way you wanted to. And not to mention, it's very stressful when you have to scream and holler at somebody all the time, you will give your own self a stroke. Because you got to realize you're getting older. You know, when you 22 and 19, 20, that might have worked. But once you start getting over your 30s, it should never get to that point to where a man has to scream or holler or a woman has to scream or holler. If it's screaming or hollering, that means somebody ain't got no goddamn control somewhere. Somebody has not grown up. So it should never get to that point. But those are a few examples, you know, like I said, you nip it in the bud before y'all even get to where y'all going. You direct it, give us something else, you know. In a case, it may not be that, you know, her clothes. It may be the fact that she's very loud, she's very obnoxious in public. You know, she don't know how to bring her voice down. Instead of waiting until y'all get out there and wait for her to do it, that needs to be nipped in the bud when it happens. Before y'all leave y'all house, that needs to be talked about before y'all even get in the public eye. Look here, you know, I know you because you my wife. I mean, I'm used to you talking loud, and I understand that's just the way you are. But the last time me and you went out, I didn't want to say nothing because I didn't want to hurt your feelings. But you were so loud that the white people that was sitting behind us at the table, I saw them get the waiter request for them to move to the other table near the exit door. And, you know, I was embarrassed, you know, and I don't want it to continue to keep being a problem. So I'm letting you know that's something you need to work on. Now, if you choose not to work on it, that's on you. But I'm just saying, you know. And one thing about women, sometimes, you know, even when we are being ridiculed, we feel like we're being ridiculed anyway, when you're just giving us constructive criticism. You know, at the time, we may act, you know, for the most part, we may try to act hard, like, oh man, you know what you're talking about, or you just blowing things out of proportion. But believe it or not, after a while, once you plant that seed into a woman's mind, she's gonna meditate on it. After a while, she's gonna when she gets in an environment, and she may never tell you, she gets an environment around her girlfriends, she gets an environment, and you know, she'll start slowly but surely studying the way she interacts with her tone of voice. You know, if it's really an issue, you'll be surprised. Little stuff like that. She'll talk to her girlfriend, girl, he had the audacity to say I was loud. And I don't think I'm not loud. You think I'm not loud? Well, I ain't want to tell you, but you do be kind of loud sometimes. You'll be surprised how sometimes us women will sit up there and act like we don't hear you, and we'll go talk to a girlfriend about it, and our girlfriend will end up telling us the same goddamn thing you don't try to tell us. So, you know, sometimes it's not always what you say, it's how you say it. You know, you don't have to be Mr. from the color purple. You need to shut your mother effing mouth, and you too goddamn loud and all kind of stuff like that. You know, when you a man don't never have to really go to that level. That's something for a boy to do. A man, it don't take all of that. And I'm gonna explain all of that to y'all later as this goes on, okay? Because I've actually been in a situation similar to this. Um, Basically, like I said, you shouldn't have to apply aggression but direction, meaning that you as the leader, as the man of the house, must direct, because that is what God has called y'all to do anyway. God has called you men to be leaders of the household. So anything that's out of line, anything that's out of alignment, you as the leader of the household, you need to correct that. You need to nip it in the bud, and not with aggression, but with direction, okay? Um and this is the next point. Believe it or not, the things you would expect a woman to know because she is a woman doesn't necessarily mean she knows it. This is the God's honest truth. I've heard so many of you men out there say, well, she's a grown woman. How she don't know how to conduct herself in public? How she don't know when she cussing too much? How she don't know when she wearing all kind of revealing clothes? She know what she doing. She a grown ass woman. She know what she doing, Mocha. What you mean she don't know what she doing? Well, I'ma tell you what I mean by women don't always know what the hell they doing, because in many cases, some of us do not really know what the hell we be doing. Don't be going by how big our breasts are, how big our booty is, and because we 35, 36 years old, going on 40, we should know. That is not true. You can be grown physically, and that still don't mean you know all of what the hell you need to know. And that is where you as a companion, and same thing for you ladies. Just because a man is a grown ass man, that don't mean he should know everything. Certain things he still need to be trained. He still need to be groomed at. And in some cases, for people who do know certain things, you still have to groom that person to your liking, to how you want them to be. And I don't mean change them. Okay, I mean groom them. There's a difference. Change is when you want that person to be something totally different just to suit you. No change. Grooming means you just want to enhance certain area. You want to make them better in certain areas where you feel like they're struggling at. You're not trying to change their whole identity. You just want them to change some of the areas they seem to be struggling with. Okay, so groom some areas that they are struggling in. So that's the difference. Okay, because I've heard people say, I don't want nobody changing me. I shouldn't have to change him or her. It's not about changing, it's about grooming. And life is full of changes anyway. So if you're the kind of person who does not want to change, then I feel sad for you, because you're supposed to want to change. What your mindset is at 35 shouldn't be what it was at 22, 23 years old. Let's just keep it real. Now let me give you an example of what I say by women and men still need to be taught even though they're grown. Never forget, me and my husband, we were in a year of our relationship. Okay. We weren't, I don't think we was really married then, but we were dating or whatever. So at that time, even though we were still dating, we were shacking up. Let me just keep it real. We were shacking up. And we would go out from time to time. And I remember one time we went to this bar. It was like a karaoke. Um, it was like a karaoke type thing, and he likes to shoot pool a lot. So, we went to the bar, because he likes to shoot pool with one hand. Everybody calls my husband a one hand man. He shoots pool with one hand. Don't ask me how the hell he does it, but he just does. So anyway, we're having a good time, having some drinks and stuff, and I remember I wanted to do one karaoke selection, and I remember I went up there and I did like a song or two. And I remember the song I did, I was just so into the song that I was doing that, I pretty much, how can I say it? I pretty much was, what's the word? I want to make sure I'm using the correct word. I don't want to say provocative, but the dances I did with the song was a little inappropriate. I wasn't twerking or anything like most of these women do today. I wasn't twerking or nothing like that, but it was still, I still did a little too much. It was just a little explicit. I don't know if that may be too strong of a word, but it was a little too explicit because I caught myself whining and doing all kind of little dances to the songs, and I didn't see anything wrong with it. I'm thinking I'm just getting up there having a good time, and meanwhile the guys in the crowd, they overexcited. You would have thought I was almost like in a damn strip club, like, oh yeah, baby, da, 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 this and that. So anyhow, I was so into the song and so into getting all the attention I was getting from the ladies and the guys that was cheering me on with the song that I was doing. I looked up and noticed he was gone. He was literally gone. He was not in there, okay? So after my set was done, I immediately went to go look for him, and he was sitting out in the car. And, I remember he didn't act turn to me. He didn't Mr. from the Color Purple me, but he basically was like, you really embarrassed me in there. And I'm like, how did I embarrass you? Of course, because I'm not gonna lie, I haven't always been a compliant black woman, so I'm not even gonna sit there and lie to y'all. What do you mean I'm embarrassing you? I'm just having a good time. I'm just da 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 da. You sitting in the corner and you could have came up there and did a set with me and da 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 da. Immediately I got in defense, and no matter how high I got, he stayed calm, he stayed cool, he stayed collective, and he said, that is besides the point. You can scream or holler and make your point all you want. That is not the point. The point is we was there together, and you basically, ignored my feelings. You ignored the way you handled me in a room full of men was embarrassing. That means I'm not a man. You handled me like I wasn't a man. You handled me like I was irrelevant, and that made me upset. So it was better for me to leave than to go up there like any other man would have did and snatch you off the stage and drag you, because that's what some brothers do. I'm not like that. But I would have rather leave because I got upset with the way you was performing, and you had these other men, screaming at you and yelling and throwing, making all kind of remarks because of the way you was carrying yourself. There was not nothing wrong with you doing your song, but it was the way you did your song, and because he stayed so calm, and because He said it in a loving manner. I could not be the bitch that I wanted to be, because sometimes black women, we already put up this fence. We be ready to be confrontational, because the majority of the time, some of you black men come at us confrontational. What the fuck was you doing up there? Da, 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 da. You do dumb. Da, 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 da. So we already prepared for you to do that. So we already have this mechanism before we even approach you, you know. And because he did in such a loving manner, he said that was just not cool. You hurt my feelings. I didn't like that. I felt this small. I felt so small, girl, child. I came up there with my bitter beast black woman approach. Like, you're not gonna tell me what to do. I'm my own goddamn woman, and he softened my ego. He softened it, because again, it wasn't about aggression. He gave me direction. No, baby, that's not how you act. That's not how you behave in public. When we together, I want you to carry yourself like you with me. I like, what that? Whoa, really? I'm like, wow, girl, I ain't gonna lie. I felt like such a herb. I felt so stupid. I ended up having to apologize and all that. I've never, and he does that to me all the freaking time. I be wanting him to go off and it never works. He stay cool, calm, and collective, and who ends up apologizing? My simple ass, my cottonelle tissue ass ends up softening up, and I have to apologize to him every goddamn time, and it's still like that to this to this day. Okay, so, but he had to guide me, and believe it or not, it was not the first time. That never happened again. But it was other events and where he had to train me to be. I don't want to say train because that sounds like I'm a puppy. Where he had to guide me, and the same thing, I had to guide him. You know, because my old man, you know, my husband, you know, he's a really like a laid back, quiet, chill dude. I'm the one that I can ramble and have a conversation for hours. You got to get a conversation out of him. The only one he talks to death is really me. I'm the one he'll talk to for the most part of people he's really cool with, but for the most part, he's a laid back type of guy. He don't do a lot of talking. So when he got around my family, he would just sit in one corner. Like we would have cookouts or little family events. He would sit in one corner. He really would in the act, and it really would turn my family off because they saw him as this old stuck up ass, stuck up country boy. You know what, I thought he was too good, because you know my family is like me. We get together, we talk. You know, we outgoing. We make anybody family. You come around my family, you're gonna swear you've been around us for years, because that's how we've always been, and we're still that way to this day. Me and my mom, my aunts, my cousins. That's how we all are. And he wasn't used to that. And at the time, I got offended, you know, and because I'm like, when you around your people, you all this and that. But then I noticed even around his people, they're the same way. They don't do a whole lot of talking. They say one or two words or whatever. But that was my time to groom him. I said, look, you have to learn how to interact. Well, oh no, I'm just not a guy. I don't like to talk that much. I don't like to really say a lot. I really don't, you know, I really don't care to talk too much and blah blah. Look, dude, I'm not saying have a 2-3 hour conversation, but you come off as stuck up. You know, you're giving people the wrong impression. I know you're a nice guy, but people, you know, they don't know you, and they look at you like they think you're some old stuck up guy, that you too good to hold a conversation. And it took years. He still ain't do it right away. It took years. And I realized that was part of his personality. My husband, it just takes a while to warm him up. He's more of an observer than a talker. You know, and unless he's been around you for a while, he's not going to sit up there and talk to you too much or whatever. Now, he talks so much, I got to pull him away from my family. He'll out talk me. He get around my uncles and stuff, and oh my gosh, he can go now. I'm like, oh, you talk too goddamn much. Yeah, but it's cool. It's cool. It's cool. It's cool. And it took years. It took years. He didn't do it right away. It took years or whatever. But that's my point. We had to groom each other. Even though I'm a grown ass woman, he's a grown ass man. We had to train and groom each other in areas that both of us have struggles in, and that is what you have to do. Next point, keep in mind that relationships require constant teaching. Like I said before, you're going to always have to teach her Mr. Knight, and that goes for the rest of the guys out there, and that goes for the rest of you ladies. Some of you ladies, if y'all want to agree, some of y'all men ain't know how to goddamn dress. They ain't know how to dress. Okay, you have to teach them how to dress. You had to buy his suits. You had to buy his shoes because he came around you looking like some guy you done picked up from the Salvation Army. You had to help him with his style. We all need grooming. Fellas, you had to teach your woman, how to conduct and dress. I mean, I used to dress very hoochie. I was a hoochie. I mean, I like to show it all. And my husband was buying my clothes for me. And I buy my clothes for me. And he would buy them just as sexy to wear. He didn't dress me so grandmotherish to wear and tried to make me cover up my whole body and made me, change my overall identity. He just kind of helped me, and we both compromised to where I was able to still be sexy, but at the same time, I was still dressed like I was his woman, like I belonged to him. So we both was happy. And that's the thing, you find a common ground. That's the problem is in relationships, you got too many selfish ass folks who want to do what the hell they want to do. And my thing is, accept me the way I am. If you can't accept me the way I am, then we can't be together. You got that kind of attitude, nobody will be with you. Because guess what? We all need changes, honey. Every last one of us. And if you don't think so, that's probably why you've been by yourself as long as you have, man and woman. Or if you do get somebody, they don't stay with you long because your thing is you don't feel like you need to change anything. And that's sad because life is all about changes. You're supposed to change. You're supposed to grow. As companions, as fiancés to each other, as husband and wife, as boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever y'all current relationship status, you both are constantly going to have to groom one another. Just get ready for it. Just get ready. Get ready, get ready, get ready. You get in a relationship, you're going to have to teach that person a whole lot. If you're not ready to be a teacher, honey, then don't get in no relationship because you're going to have to train each other. My neighbors next door dogs. Anyway, next thing is your soulmate is supposed to be your helpmate. Okay, if you see me struggling in the area, you're not doing me any good by allowing me to sit there and fail. If you feel like my loud mouth is what's ruining me from getting opportunities that I can be blessed with, then you as my mate, you need to step in and intervene and say, you need to bring that down. Or even when it comes to women, men, you should allow your woman to be able to give an opinion to a certain degree. Now, I don't mean she has an opinion as far as change you as a man. She's trying to run you. And if it's not something beneficial, then no. She shouldn't stand grounds to be able to opinionate. But what I'm saying is, as women, sometimes we have what's called intuition. We can sense things too that you can't see. In some areas where you may be failing or not as successful, your woman, if she really loves you, she cares about you, she should be more attentive enough to study those things and know that, okay, this is something I know he's struggling with. I want to help him to be better in this area. It's not about changing you, it's about bettering you, making you a better man, and vice versa, making that woman a better woman. That's the thing. That's what people get confused. People get this thing confused with somebody trying to change me. Well, it's not about changing you, it's supposed to be about bettering you. That way the both of you can win in the end. As long as you got a hard-headed ass stubborn companion that has this attitude, whether if it's a man or a woman, I'm gonna be who the hell I am, like it or leave it, guess what? You're never gonna grow with that person. Y'all are never gonna have nothing together. Okay, so that's just the way it is. A man should never have to hit a woman to gain authority. A man should have to hit a woman to gain authority, and a woman should have to hit a man to gain authority. Whenever it gets to the point where y'all physically got to put hands on each other, that means both of y'all are lacking self-control. Because a relationship should never have to get to that point where y'all have to put hands on each other. I know my husband well enough that if I'm pissing him off, he ain't got to bash my head against the wall to make it clear to me that I'm stepping out of my lane. Just the way he looks, or he says one or two words, use just one or two words, or be like, all right, now that's enough. That's enough right there to let me know, okay, I'm taking it too far. I'm pushing his buttons. And the same thing, he knows my code. He knows my code the same way. You both should know each other well enough or love each other well enough to know that if there's a problem and your mate comes to you about it, you work on it, nip it in the bud, resolve it immediately. That way you both can move on, because y'all gonna have more problems down the road. You don't have time to stay focused on the same issue. You shouldn't be going back and forth about the same headache, about the same issue for years. Work on the issue, fix it, so y'all can be ready for the next challenge that comes your way. You don't have time to keep focusing on the same issue back and forth. If you are, then that says something about your character. Evidently, there's some issues there. And last few points, I get ready to wrap this up. You nip things in the butt right then and there, so the problem doesn't grow like a tumor. The problem is some of us suck as communicators. Some of y'all cannot communicate worth a damn. And some people who call silent communicators, they would rather be quiet and don't say a word. That silent treatment crap, it never works. And women are pros at doing this. When a man does something that pisses them off, a woman would just stay silent. And some of you men, y'all do it too. Y'all don't address it in the butt, because some people don't like confrontation. Some people don't like to address things because they feel like the moment they address it, it's going to become a problem. But guess what? If you don't address it, it will become a problem, and it's going to grow like a tumor. Like I said, if you don't say nothing to your wife the first time about how she dresses, guess what? She's going to do it over and over and over and over. Next thing you notice, it done got so far out of hand. Now you angry and you upset. You want to bust upside her head because she done got more and more ridiculous. Well, that is your fault. You allowed that monster to keep brewing instead of you nipping into the butt. Same thing with you ladies. If you know your man does not know how to hold his alcohol or whatever the case is, and he gets around your family, friends, he's drinking so much till he's embarrassing you and falling over and everything, then that's your fault. You know he had a drinking problem, and you keep sitting there because you don't like confrontation. You feel like the moment you say something to him, he's going to get in his feelings. I don't care if somebody is going to get in their feelings. You as a companion, you still need to let them know. Okay, because in the long run, you're going to get embarrassed. In the long run, it's going to cause problems in your household and your relationship. So it go both ways. Nip things in the butt before it grows like cancer. Okay, and what does cancer do, y'all? Cancer kills. Okay, so when you keep letting things spread, eventually it's going to kill the relationship. It's going to kill the marriage, and it just won't exist anymore. When two people love each other, they will do whatever it takes to make it work. That's the God's honest truth. I don't care how hard things get. If you really sincerely love each other, if that woman really loves you, she's going to do whatever it takes to make you happy. Now, that don't mean abuse your authority to the point to where you don't like her wearing purple socks. You want her wearing green socks. Some people just go too goddamn far, with trying to get people to prove they love for them. It shouldn't have to be. No matter how hard the problem is, y'all both will find a way to make it work. If it really means something to you, you're going to fight for it. You're not going to throw in the towel. You're not going to let your pride, ladies, you're not going to let your ego, gentlemen, get in the way, okay? Come a point where you got to let go of that little boy bullshit, that little girl bullshit, and be a grown-ass man, a grown woman, and handle y'all business. And somebody has to be the bigger person. If you love your relationship, you're not going to let it's kind of like you see a person drowning and you wait till they go way out to sea where you can't even reach them. You can't even throw them a life jacket. You can't even throw them a life preserver because it done got so far now. And the further that they've done went out into that water, the deeper the water's done got. You can't save them. You love somebody, you're going to save it. I mean, me and my husband have went through a lot. And no matter what, we just was determined. We're not going to let each other go. We don't care how bad it get. We're going to fight. We're going to work. That's it, and that's how it's always been, And it's the last point. Set guidelines and also ask your partner to set guidelines. This is stuff that people need to be doing when they dating. Not when you don't move a person in and after you don't have sex with them, after you don't invested 8, 9 children. You need to set guidelines from the beginning. This is what I like. This is what I don't like. When things get serious, you need to start setting boundaries. And let's say y'all didn't do that in the beginning. Y'all been together for a while. Starting today, somebody need to set some goddamn rules and regulations. Because if not, things are going to get out of hand. You're not going to have a relationship, and y'all going to end up hating each other for the rest of y'all life because y'all both going to feel like I invested so much into this woman and she played me. I invested so much into this man and he used me. Somebody has to grow the hell up and be the bigger person. So basically, to answer your question, Mr. Knight, it's not about putting somebody in their place. It's about giving somebody guidance. It's about grooming your mate. Yep, that's the good slogan. It's not about putting someone in a place. It's about grooming your mate. Bam! Hey, I just gave y'all a new line. Y'all know how I operate. So that's what it's all about. So thank you, Mr. Knight, for your question, and I hope I answered it. If there's something I didn't answer, or you need me to be a little bit more clear, email me, okay? So, because I know, understand sometimes these questions, sometimes they, don't seem detailed enough at times. So I hope I answered everything for you. And if not, you're welcome to email me, Night, if you want me to collaborate a little bit more, at Cafe de Paris 79 at yahoo.com. And that goes for any more of the Mocha Cafe de Paris fam. Any questions, remember to email me. Do not leave it in my comment. I won't get it. So I'm going to give also, by the way, I almost forgot. My next video is going to be on my Patreon account. And the next video I'm going to be doing is going to be your husband or your current companion cannot substitute your child's father. Okay, that is going to be my next video, and it won't be available here. It's going to be available on my Patreon account or whatever. The reason I'm going to be doing that video is because I noticed that, when a lot of women, get into a new relationship or they get married, remarried, or whatever the case may be, what tends to happen is, especially if that relationship did not work out with the father of their child, and is the relationship has ended on very nasty terms, what tends to happen is these women, not all women, if it does not apply, you don't have to reply. Some women tend to try to make the man replace the father of that child, because basically they want to rid the father of the child. They don't want any parts of him. They don't want him in the equation. So they think they can simply just replace him by giving the role to her new man or her new husband, and thinking they can just exclude the father. That way they don't have to deal with them, not understanding that this is very detrimental to the child. And once a child has bonded and connected with the father, they're going to always look for that father, no matter how much and how determined the woman is to try to make this new man take his place. Okay, so if you want to check out all of the elements that I'm going to break down for that, believe me, you're not going to want to miss it. So make sure you guys tune into that Patreon account. Okay, if there's any problems with my Patreon account and the video doesn't upload, please email me so I can take care of it. Okay, so just thought I would let you guys be aware of that. Okay, so I'm going to get ready to wrap things up. To let all of y'all know, I'm getting ready slowly but surely. I'm transitioning into my Patreon account. So be on the lookout. Be ready to start finding, seeing me over there more than you'll see me over here on YouTube. Okay, so just be on the lookout. If you get a chance today or whenever you can, just go check out my Patreon page. I'm still, it's still under construction. I'm still working on it. I'm still not putting some things together. So if you see some things that are not quite right, you're welcome to give me an opinion. I don't know nothing about a Patreon account. So if anybody who has one wants to enlighten me on how to do things, I'm not even going to lie. I am willing to listen. Tell me what the hell I need to do and what I shouldn't do. Prepare me, honey, because I am willing to learn, okay? Because I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I'm a virgin at this Patreon account. But it is up and running. So just be prepared to stop in from time to time, support your girl, support my channel, and basically, that way I keep this thing going, okay? But on that note, it is your girl, Lady Diva, with Cafe de Paris. And remember, I'm going to always pour you a cup of truth and break you off a slice of knowledge. Y'all have a God bless day and take care. Bye.